अस्सलाम वालेकुम, कैसे हैं आप सब लोग? ठीक ठाक हैं? कैसे जा रही है आपकी डाइट? ठीक जा रही है? आज का जो वेदर है वो काफ़ी अच्छा है, ठीक है। हल्की हल्की सी बारिश हो रही है, ठीक है, पर ठंड नहीं है, हुडी वेदर है। तो खैर चलें, अपने टॉपिक पे चलते हैं। तो आज हमारा है हैमस्ट्रिंग मसल वर्कआउट। तो हैमस्ट्रिंग और क्वाड्स में दोनों अलग अलग डेज में क्यों रखे हुए हैं? क्योंकि जो मसल वर्कआउट जो था काफ़ी ज़्यादा बड़ा हो जाता है वर्कआउट, तो वो एक दिन में करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है अगर आप सही प्रॉपर तरीके से कर रहे हैं। तो आज भी हमारी 5 डिफरेंट एक्सरसाइज होंगी हैमस्ट्रिंग की, साथ में 2 एक्सरसाइज हमारी काफ्स की होंगी। काफ्स की वही सेम होंगी, सीटेड एंड स्टैंडिंग, ठीक है। तो काफ हम दोनों दिन क्या करेंगे फॉर फ्यू वीक्स एटलीस्ट, ठीक है। उसके बाद देखते हैं, क्योंकि काफ जो है वो काफ़ी पीछे रह जाता है मसल। आपका काफ और आपका बाइसेप दोनों सेम साइज़ का होना चाहिए, ठीक है। लेकिन यूजुअली क्या होता है, काफ आपका 1-2 इंच छोटा होता है, तो इसलिए हम काफ पे ज़्यादा फोकस करेंगे। इवन मेरा अपना काफ का मसल जो है बाइसेप से छोटा है, तो इसलिए 2 दिन रखा है ऐसा करने के लिए, ठीक है। तो चलें, अब हम चलते हैं जिम। प्री वर्कआउट ले लिए, ठीक है। तो अब जाकर ट्रेनिंग शुरू करते हैं। So today we are doing hamstrings muscle, the back side of your thigh. So the first exercise we're going to perform is a seated leg curls. So you sit on the seated curl machine. Make sure you lock your knees. Keep your legs together as you can so that you can hit the outside of your hamstring muscle. The reason we are doing this exercise first so that we can fill our hamstrings with blood. So the more pumps they are now, the more beneficial will be the next exercise. So once you sit in the machine, you have locked your knees. Make sure you have a moderate amount of weight for the warm-up set, and put your legs down in a controlled manner. Just hold it down and squeeze, and then slowly bring it back. So this is your 1 rep. You have to do 15 reps for a warm-up set, for 3 warm-up sets, and 10 reps for a bit heavier than this. So that will consider as your 3 working sets. So now you can see how I'm performing this exercise. Sitting comfortably, knees locked, and slightly push those pads down for my hamstrings and squeeze it there. So our next exercise is barbell squat. This is called as sumo. So that's how you perform this exercise. You stand straight. Your legs are slightly wider than your shoulder width this time. And if you look at it from the side view, so you stand straight. Make sure keep your tummy tucked in. Your core should be tight. Push push yourself down, but you have to make sure your hips goes first to the back, and then you go down and put a stretch on your hamstring. So for starting position, hips out first, goes down, put a good stretch on your hamstring, and then you're gonna come back. See the level of the hamstring? It's like a only 45-degree level, which you need to go down. So this is just like a warm-up set. I'm doing it so that you can see and make sure before you start this exercise, you do this warm-up as well without weight. So this is the exercise I'm gonna perform. So I'm gonna do 3 warm-up and 3 working sets. So my legs are wider than my shoulder width. This is not a regular squat, so your legs should be wider. Push your hips down and back first, and then you go down. Get a good squeeze and a stretch on your hamstrings, and then come back up. Okay, so it's like a pelvic thrust. You're doing it. 2 things to need to be remembered in this exercise is that you need to go to at least 45-degree and keep your feet wider than the shoulder stand. So if you look at it from the side now, okay, hips out first, then go down. Hips out first and then go down. Go down as much as you can, at least 45 degrees, and then you come back up and get a good contraction or squeeze on your hips. So this is one of the best exercise for the hamstring. So now we're doing our first working set. So we do 3 working sets. So this is my first working set. Lift the weight up, stand wider than your shoulder width. Go down for 45 degree and then come back up. Hips out first, go down 45 degree, come back up. Okay, make sure keep your head up so that your spine stays in on the normal position. Don't round or don't bend your spine. Make sure these kind of heavy movements you have to wear the belt. So keep your belt and your knee pads with you all the time as well. So next exercise we are going to do is Romanian deadlift. It's a great exercise to isolate the hamstrings. If you want to build the size and strength in your hamstrings, so this is the exercise you need to include in your leg program. How to perform this? Just step into the bar. So your ankle is just touching to the barbell. Your legs should be the shoulder width apart. Grab the barbell with your overhand grip just outside of your legs. So now you can stand up with a straight position and slightly bend down so that your arm just go below the knee, right in front of your shin. Make sure your hips, when you go down, your hips goes backward as well. If I show you on the side view, so you bend your knees, hips out, and that's it. Come back up. Bend your knees, hips out, come back up. Bend your knees, hips out, and come back up. It's a very similar to deadlift, but don't go down completely. You just have to stop it just below the knee. So we will do two warm up and three working set on this. So watch again. Okay. You just come close to the bar. Bring your bar close to your shin and lift the weight up, and then you can stand up with from to make a position. Now you slightly bend your knees, hips out, give a full stretch to your hamstrings, and then come back up. You don't your weight should not touch to the floor. Okay, just below your knee, and then come back up. So that's how you perform this exercise. Get a good stretch on your hamstrings. You will see the more often you do this exercise, the more comfortable you will doing this in this way to get a stretch on your hamstrings. So the next exercise we're gonna perform is called good morning. It's like you're greeting somebody. You can add this in your back workout day or your hamstring workout day. The purpose of this exercise is to isolate the lower back and your hamstring. How we perform this exercise: standing with feet a few inches apart, uh, hold a barbell across the back of your shoulder, like a squat position. So make sure you keep your legs locked and your back straight. Bend forward from the waist. Make sure your head must be up, and you uh, continue bend down until your torso is parallel to the floor. Hold for a few seconds and then come back up to the starting position. You will feel the burning sensation on your hamstring and your lower back. So we're gonna do two warm up and two working sets. So this is my first working set now. So see this, I'm gonna grab the bar like I'm doing this for a squat, away from the rack, and then keep my core tight and bend down, and then come back up again. Bend down until my torso is just parallel to the floor. If you're doing this first time, just try to do it with a empty bar for a couple of sets, and then you can increase the weight as required. You can watch and learn to make sure keep your core tight, bend down from your torso until you get to parallel to the floor, then go back up, get some squeeze on your lower back and your hamstrings. The next exercise we're doing is standing hamstring curl. So we're gonna do one warm up and two working set. If you don't have a machine for the standing curls, you can do the lie down one. Purpose of this exercise is to develop the leg biceps. Using a standing curl machine, you can train one leg at a time and further isolate the leg biceps. But if you don't have that machine, You can lie down on the machine, but try to do it one leg at a time. How are we gonna perform this? Stand against the machine and hook one leg behind the lever mechanism. Hold yourself steady and curl the leg up as high as possible. Release and lower the weight back to the starting position. Complete your reps with the one leg first, then repeat the exercise using the other leg. That will be one set. Be certain to keep the movement slow and strict and feel on your hamstring bicep. You can choose a lighter weight so that you can really concentrate on your concentration or contraction of the hamstring, and you make sure you use the full range of motion. You bring the weight up completely to your hamstring, like just that you're hitting on your hamstrings. So next exercise we're doing is the seated calf raise. We're gonna do uh, 3 sets of 12 to 15 reps and one set of 21 reps. The purpose of this exercise is to develop the lower and the outer areas of the calves. How are we gonna perform this? Sit on the machine and place your toes on the bottom cross piece, locking your knees under the crossbar. Slowly lower your heel as far as you can as you're hitting on the ground or touching on the ground. Then press back up on your toes until your calves are fully contracted. The next exercise we're doing is standing calf raise. The purpose of this exercise is to develop the overall mass of the calves. So how we're gonna perform this? Stand with your toes on the block of standing calf machine. Hook your shoulder under the pads and straighten your leg. Lower your heels as far as possible towards the floor, but keeping your knees slightly bent throughout the movement in order to work off the lower area of the calf. From the bottom of the movement, come up on your toes as far as possible. The weight should be heavy to exercise the calves, but not so heavy that you cannot come all the way up for most of the reps. So we'll perform 4 sets and 8 to 10 reps. So try to come down all the way you can. I'm trying to touch on the floor. That's what we need to do to get a full stretch on your calves. Okay, so that's all for our hamstring workout today. I hope you enjoyed the video.